3. And today we have Tristan, my son, who's 14, soon to be 15, with us today for a little bit. So we'll talk to a teenager and kind of get his view on what it's like being a teenager during COVID, and then also talk about maybe some parenting tips on how we can best support our teenagers. So Tristan, you just want to talk about what it's been like for you during the last 3 weeks?
Pretty boring. Nothing much, just video gaming and sleeping and eating.
So lots of those 3 things. He's been gaming, eating a lot, and then also sleeping, which is really good. What can you tell us what it's like not being able to see your friends?
It sucks. I haven't seen one of my friends for 3 weeks now, and I just want to see them.
Yes.
Any of them.
So, and it's really hard for a teenager, just like us as adults, as being, not being able to be out as much either. But to teenagers, during this developmental time in their life, being with friends is super important. The littler ones don't mind as much. They play with each other and kind of have me that still plays Legos with them and reads and does all those sorts of things. So how has school been for you so far, Tristan?
Pretty easy. They've taken it a lot slower, I guess, online.
Okay, so it sounds like the school district we're in is taking it slow, which is probably a good thing, and being patient, and so that is really good. And so thank you, Tristan, for being with us here. You can go do whatever you're going to do, and I will talk just a little bit about some parenting things. I do not have parenting figured out by any means, especially a teenager. When I was 21, I taught 9th grade health, and I thought for sure whenever I'd have a teenager, I would be like, oh my gosh, I totally connect with teenagers, I got this. I do not have it. I realized that having a teenager in your home is not like having them 45 minutes a day in your classroom talking about sex and drugs and reproductive things. So it's way different, and I think we just don't know until we have one. So a couple of things I have learned a little bit along the way is less is more. It was really hard telling Tristan that he couldn't be with his friends, and it's not here, we don't have any cases here, and then he would try to convince me, and I just kept saying no, being firm, and you don't have to understand this right now, and I don't expect you to, but the answer is no. And so we're to a point where he knows, and he doesn't even ask to see his friends at this point. He just knows. Also, to give teenagers some space. The 3 main things he likes to game, but we do that in moderation as well because he needs to do his schoolwork. And then also to make family time mandatory, because I believe most teenagers, if you ask them, they're not going to be like, hey, can I go on a bike ride with you all in an hour? They're not usually going to take the lead. So instead of saying, hey, Tristan, do you want to go on a bike ride with us? It's like, hey, our bike ride is leaving in 10 minutes, so you have 10 minutes to get ready. So really trying to offer a variety of things for our teenagers. Yesterday, we played a game. What did we play? Sorry, that ended up lasting like an hour. But just to kind of pull in some things that you can do with your family who's ever in there. Today we rode bike and went to their grandma's assisted living and just waved in the window and said hi and made her day. So just being outside and being able to do different things throughout the day would maybe be a tip. So again, the teenagers things, they have a lot of hormones going on and a lot of emotions. They don't know what they don't know. We don't even know as adults. So really trying to give them some grace and know that they may feel irritable and not even know why. Again, that's part of being a teenager. I was told a long time ago, just pretend like you're, how we feel if we're before we get our moon time or our period time, we get very irritable, and no matter what anyone says to us, we're just like, that's how teenagers feel often, and they can't explain why. So to give them some grace and less is more might be a little bit of a tip. So anyway, hope all is going well with all of you, and again, dealing with teenagers, giving grace, and then making them do some things once in a while, and of course doing their schoolwork and trying to get along with their siblings is also something we can all